What's going on, guys? Josh here. Before we get into today's video, I just want to make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really helps with the channel around here. And make sure to go ahead and check out the whole Around the Diamond team. We post awesome content from podcasts to videos to Twitch streaming to Instagram and Twitter content daily. We have the best team in baseball, in my opinion, and our community and content is only beginning to grow. So if you guys go ahead and check that out, that'd be really appreciated. But let's get into today's topic. Alright, so this is a new series that I'm going to be calling Tuesday Topics, and I'm going to be discussing anything baseball related. It doesn't have to be involved with the MLB, just anything that's going on in the world of baseball. And today I'm going to be talking about the rule changes, talking about robot umpires that might be coming into the game of baseball. And personally, I think this is the dumbest decision that MLB and the commissioner's office has been discussing, because okay, yes, I do agree umpires make bad calls, and especially umpires such as Joe West and Angel Hernandez, who are honestly probably the most blind people on the planet, and that's probably offensive to blind people because they're probably not even as blind as those umpires, but they're terrible. But I also believe that robot umpires aren't the right decision for this. And here are my reasons why. Yes, humans and human error are a big problem in this world, as we all know, but especially in the game of baseball, because yes, humans aren't going to be able to see what cameras and audio is going to pick up from certain angles and all this and that for guys that are trying to make a play. But that's also the game, and that's also the sport. We've been playing this game since the 1800s, and we never had cameras up until probably the 60s, 50s, and even then the cameras weren't even that good to pick up certain angles and plays. The umpires still had to make the call from what they saw on the field. And robot umpires, if you're going to be going in that route, aren't the way you should be going, in my opinion, because you're taking away that factor, the human error factor that we've been playing with forever, but you're also taking away the fun of the game, in my opinion. And I also believe that you would slow the game down, in my opinion, because here's the thing. Take games like hockey and basketball, for example, and which they've also discussed that using robot referees and stuff to make the right decisions. Hockey is a very, very, very fast-paced sport, and I was talking to my dad about this too, and just imagine, and especially in the playoffs right now, they put their whistles away, and they let guys get away with murder, for God's sakes, on the ice. You guys got guys going around hitting each other, doing this and that. The only thing they really call is if someone's bleeding, or if it's obviously an obvious trip in front of the net, or if the puck goes out of play. That's literally the only stuff that they're calling now in the playoffs. But if you had a robot referee, they would be constantly calling every single penalty that they saw. Because sometimes, yes, if let's just say a guy gets tripped all the way in the corner, and the ref is like, okay, it's not affecting the main play that's going on with the person with the puck, I'm not going to call that. But the robot referee would say, okay, yes, obviously that's a trip, we're going to have to call that, it's going to slow the game down, right? They'd be calling every single penalty that would be on the ice. They would see everything too, so it would be constantly penalties, constantly slowing the game down. And I think with baseball too, yes, they don't have where there's penalties being called, but if you have to they would slow down every single pitch, and they'd be like, okay, let's just make sure that was in the strike zone. Yes, it was. Okay, now throw again. If guys aren't throwing at a proper rate, they would be like, okay, you're slowing the game down, you got to pick it up, you got to do this, you got to do that, guys. And especially for those very, very, very tight calls at first. I know now that we have an advantage of replay and coaches challenge and whatever, and the manager can challenge if the guy's like, oh, he made it to home, or maybe he didn't. But the robot ref or ump would be constantly looking at stuff. And also the same thing too is, yes, if you did switch to a robot umpire, you would still have to have someone in the back room making sure that the robot umpire isn't glitching out and making the actual right calls. So what's the point of getting rid of an umpire on the field if you're just going to have someone in the back room making sure that the robot umpire is doing his job as well? It makes no sense. So you might as well just keep the humans on the field and have the game stay the way it is. And yes, I do agree with managers and saying that, oh, you know, the umpires are missing so many calls, this, and that. But at the end of the day, like I keep saying, it's just a game. It's a sport. These guys are getting paid millions of dollars to go out there and play a game. And all they do is, yeah, okay, I know people get frustrated in games. I've gotten frustrated in games. But at the end of the day, too, like it's just a sport. You just got to get over it. You're still getting paid, so I don't know what you're complaining about. Yeah, you know, you might get fired if you're the manager, but at the end of the day, the players aren't getting affected by stuff like this. Yes, they might miss a call, but at the end of the day, they're going to be staying in there anyways the next day and the next day after that. So I don't believe robot umpires are the way to go. It's just going to slow the game down, and it's going to take away the human error fact, and that's just life. You know, people make mistakes, so you just got to keep moving on from it and keep your head up and just go forward from there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments on this, because I've been reading tons of articles about this and just watching videos about people talking about this, and I just personally, I just don't like it. So I just want to let you know, or what you guys want to let me know in the comments, and we can discuss it down there. Thanks so much if you made it to the end of today's video. Make sure and go ahead and check out all of our other videos. And like I said, check out the whole Around the Diamond team. We have the greatest content on the internet, in my opinion, or baseball related. But yeah, I think our team is amazing and we're doing great jobs. And make sure and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And other than that, it's been Josh, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
17 shots, no 38. Yeah, I got the Glock in my Robo.